This video is about what happens if we share our body or our life space with an entity or being. Actually, very few souls occupy a physical form at any given time in the universe. Most of the life force that's present in creation is not enmeshed in a physical body. We interact with all the life around us, whether it has physical material manifestation or not. Our time in the human body is limited and precious. Every second counts. The bodies themselves are expressions of the divine interaction, the divine interplay between the infinite source of creation and the whole manifest realm of creation. So the very functions of the physiology are our teachers, which reveal the mechanics of manifestation of everything in creation, not just the body itself. So it's very precious to have access to a human body. It's very precious, or any physical body, like even the animals are lucky. We're all fortunate to have access to physiologies which have this incredible innate capacity to represent reality from unmanifest to fully materially manifest simply by being. It always seems as if life forms which reside at very fine abstract levels of creation, which do not have physical material bodies, they have some kind of advantage over those of us in our physical form, because our experience, our life experience, is basically bound and constrained by the limitations of our senses of perception, among other things, and then also the nature of the human nervous system, which experiences reality in a kind of linear unfolding of moments like that. So it seems as if those beings that reside at finer levels are greater, they're smarter, they have a broader perspective, they're less constrained anyway than we are. Smarter, more capable, greater mastery over natural law, greater mastery over the manifesting process. So it can be a bit of a sell job can come in that, well, if you're willing to share your space with such a being, that you can have access to the benefits of that lack of constrained awareness and more frictionless flow, you could say, more of an open flow of relationship between the finer levels of creation and the denser levels of creation. However, any amount of benefit which another being receives from having access to the human form is benefit that's lost to the actual occupant of the physiology. In most cases, the aspects of ourself which we recognize and value least are actually the most highly coveted by those who do not have physiologies. By lending access to the body, to your body, you are essentially providing a tremendous benefit or boon to those souls who have not earned the position at this time of having a physical form. Even if they're great, even if they could, they haven't. The underlying problem which would drive a person to allow such an exploitation is the opportunity to do things faster and easier. It's the idea that it's actually easier if, for example, I don't have very refined perception. Well, I can let this entity come, and the entity has very refined perception. So the entity will see what's happening and can tell me, or the entity has greater control over certain subtle aspects of creation, which I don't. And so the entity can make things happen for me, which I can't make happen for myself that type of thing. The problem with this thinking is that it enables us as humans, with the constraints of the human physiology, it enables us to not learn to master those skill sets in these forms. One of the reasons we're here is to draw that all those values of the source of creation, all those qualities of the divine into the relative material, physical level of expression. So if we're letting another entity take possession of this form and do that, then we're not evolving the ability to do it ourselves. And the reason we're here in our short little human lifespans that are like a blip in the universe, right? In this little short time that we have, and so much that needs to be developed, we're losing time and opportunity to develop those qualities. So even though there can be short-term gains, particularly with regards to success and in showing how much intuition or how much ability a person has in the short term, in the long term, it actually giving that power over to another being actually undercuts one's ability to evolve those qualities personally. I realize that this is a very new area for a lot of people, and there certainly is more that can be learned and understood about this type of experience. Certainly, there are a lot of shared perceptions between ourselves and all the life in creation at the collective levels of our physiology. At that level, everybody's sharing everything. And ultimately, there's nothing in creation that isn't divinity expressing itself. So it's not to say that some entities are bad entities or something like that. It's just that the mechanics, the value of living in a human body, first of all, is a hard-earned right. I know, it's a hard-earned right to come here and have challenges and difficulties on a day in and day out basis. But at the same time, we have the advantage of being intimately connected to these amazing physiologies, which are rife with universal wisdom. And so it's like living in a cosmic archive, living in a body. It's so precious. I think the reason sometimes a person would want to share a little bit of space with such an entity is that the entity realizes how valuable it is. I think as humans, sometimes we take it for granted. We take for granted the value of living in our physiologies and what a gift that is. So I encourage everyone to appreciate, from a self-sufficient point of view, to appreciate as completely and deeply as we possibly can the value of living in these amazing human physiologies that are so deeply wise and so well integrated with the entire cosmic reality of our whole universe. They're connected. Bodies have this deep physical wisdom and knowledge and connection with the whole universe. And know that this is a hard-earned gift that you worked to achieve in this lifetime. Whatever time is lost with another entity in here, you're going to have to go back and try to regain it in some other way. So encourage everyone to do the best that you can and know that nobody's bad or wrong. It's just we want to act as responsibly and as wisely as possible. Thank you.